Hi, it's me, the Aquarist for fun. So, for the first video of the year, I'll be showing you how to mix your own aquatic plant fertilizer using the Estimative Index method. Hi there, my fellow Aquarists. So, before anything else, what is Estimative Index method? Or most commonly referred as the EI method. And for the beginners or amateurs out there, the Estimative Index is a straightforward method for providing nutrients to your planted tank. What's the idea behind the EI? So, the EI method of fertilizing your planted tank is simply providing your plants with unlimited amounts of nutrients. This means that there will be unlimited or non-limiting amount of nutrients in your aquarium, specifically your water column, and it will continually feed the plant. So, this method of fertilizing your tank provides a big surplus of nutrients available for the plant growth. With this will prevent your plants having deficiencies. So for the amateurs out there, I got your back. Amateurs are my favorite genre on specific websites. Okay, just wait. I'm already imagining some of you guys reacting like this. Oh, you're telling me to provide more nutrients than required. You're setting me up for a big algae problem. Okay, listen. Most algae problems usually start because of an unhealthy plant in your aquarium. Most algae-related issues are always due to plant deficiencies rather than the excess of nutrients, except for ammonium or NH4+. The plus meaning it's ionized, I think. Meaning most of our algae issues are always connected to our plant's health. I have read studies available on the internet stating that ammonium or ammonia is probably the leading cause of algae in our tanks, nutrient-wise. Algae spores use ammonium or ammonia as their primary nutrient source. And as they grow out and mature, they will start using other nutrients that our plants use as well. Let me say that again. Algae spores use ammonium or ammonia as their primary nutrient source. And as they mature, they will use other nutrients for growth. So, controlling your ammonium or ammonia levels can directly affect or can directly correlate to controlling or maintaining your tank algae-free. That's why having a properly cycled tank is key. But enough about that. I'm here to show you how I will make my own fertilizer and use the EI method of dosing. First up is the micronutrients. So what does your micronutrients consist of? Those trace elements are iron, manganese, boron, copper, zinc, and molybdenum. Okay, so for my micro solution, I'm gonna use 1 teaspoon of chelated trace elements and then 500 ml of water. Yeah. Okay, when handling chemicals, always wash your hands. If you have gloves available, use it. 1 leveled teaspoon. So you can just pour it inside this twin neck bottle. And then just add 500 ml water. Editing magic. Make sure it's properly sealed. Give it a proper shake. There you go. And then just leave it for 24 hours. Just in case you're wondering, I got mine from AQUARIUM Plant Food UK. So just a word of caution, this mixture has copper. And for shrimp keepers out there, I've read that copper can be toxic to shrimps, so use it with caution. One more thing to note is that this contains boron. Boron, the chemical boron, is responsible for making your bucephalanges flower. That's your micro solution. Next is the big guys, macro. Okay, so what are the macros? Your macros are NPK. It's your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Shouldn't it be NPP because potassium is because potassium starts with P. Okay, going back. Well, in chemistry, potassium is represented by the letter K. K means kalium. I think it's German for potassium. So for amateurs out there, whenever you see macros, it means nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Just like your micro solution, your macro solution will have 500 ml of water. Ideally, if you have access to RO water, I think it will be better to use RO water, since RO water doesn't contain any other elements or metals. For your macro solution, we have potassium phosphate, magnesium sulfate, and potassium nitrate. Why is magnesium there? To be honest, I don't know. I've watched other videos and read other articles that consider magnesium to be part of the macro solution. For your potassium nitrate, we are gonna use 4 teaspoons. It's gonna be 6 teaspoons for your magnesium sulfate and 1 teaspoon for your potassium phosphate. Again, just add water and then give it a proper shake. Make sure it's properly dissolved and leave it for like 24 hours. There you go. Now you have a macro and a micro solution. Now, if you are going to use the same amount of ingredients that I used, we are going to follow the suggested dosing schedules and amount. So for your macros, you are going to dose your aquarium with your macro solution 3 times a week. So that's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You're going to dose 10 ml per 50 liters of your aquarium water. And since I have a 90-liter tank, I'm gonna dose maybe around 18 ml per day. Now, for your micro solution, you're gonna dose your aquarium with the micro solution 3 times a week. Same thing with macro, but instead of dosing it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you're gonna dose it on alternating days. So that's gonna be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. How much should I dose? It's 10 ml for every 50 liters of aquarium water. I'll be dosing around 18 ml per day for 3 days a week. So if I'm gonna dose macros 3 times a week, and then I'm gonna dose micros 3 times a week, and we have 7 days in a week, what happens on that 7th day? On your 7th day, you're gonna do a 50% water change. This water change regimen is kinda like a reset button for your aquarium. Okay, I heard you. But I said with the estimative index, we are dosing our aquariums with a surplus of nutrients. So why do I have to do a weekly water change? Yes, having a surplus of nutrients for your plants will be beneficial, but we don't want to have a buildup of chemicals in our tank. That's why a 50% water change every week is crucial. Now that I've told you what EI is, how to mix your own fertilizers, we're gonna discuss the whys. Why am I going with the EI fertilization method? First of all, it's cheaper. It is cheaper to make your own aquarium fertilizers. So for each 500 ml bottle that I made, it roughly cost me only around £1 and 16 pence. £1 16 pence is equivalent to maybe 75 peso. So imagine that. How much will you save for a 500 ml bottle? It's gonna save you a lot, especially in terms of your running costs per year. And if you're used to buying a well-known branded liquid fertilizers, it can cost you roughly around 10 pounds or more for the same amount. So that's roughly around 600, 700 Philippine peso, which is a lot. 75 peso doing it on your own versus 600 to 700 peso on buying commercially available fertilizers. That's a lot. That's significant. I've bought 500 grams of potassium nitrate, 250 grams of potassium phosphate, 500 grams of magnesium sulfate, and 250 grams of chelated trace elements. The entire kit will give me 16,500 mLs. And for the macros, it's gonna last 45 freaking 500 ml bottles. That's a lot. there are a few key elements that you need to consider. First, you have to make sure that you have a proper lighting. Medium to high light is required. Make sure you have a consistent CO2 production. It is highly suggested that you have a pressurized setup, or if you're gonna go DIY, you can at least make sure that there is consistency with your CO2 levels. Speaking of CO2, you have to make sure that there is enough water flow in your tank. There is a study in the 1980s or 1860s, I couldn't really remember the exact year, but it says there on that study that plants can hinder your water flow by about 90%. So you have to make sure you have decent water flow inside your planted tank. But if you have a low-tech setup, can I still use the EI method for fertilizing my planted tank? EI method is highly suggested for medium to high-tech setups, but there are instances wherein you can still use it on your low-tech setup. Instead of dosing your aquarium 3 times with your macros and micros, you can adjust your doses to just once or twice a week. So, are test kits necessary for using the EI method? No, not really. But if you do have testing kits, the EI method have specific target ranges. For CO2 levels, that's between 25 to 35 ppm. 25 to 35 ppm, if you're using a drop checker, the color should be light green. So for your nitrate levels and potassium levels, it has to be between 10 to 30 ppm. For your phosphate range, it's 1 to 2 ppm. For your iron, it has to be 0.2 to 0.5 ppm. Okay, so if you want to know more about the EI method, I'll be posting more videos regarding the subject matter. So if you don't want to miss out, I suggest you to subscribe and leave this video with a thumbs up. In this channel, I'll be discussing about aquascaping, fish keeping, and general tips and guides on how to be a better aquarist. So that's it for me. I'm the Aquarist for Fun. Bye!